Mom, can I pay for this thing? What is it? Bear Force 1? The hell is Bear Force 1? It's a glider. Well, is it any better than the glider you got?
It's so fluffy. No.
And they're like, does it do any better in the game? No, that wouldn't be fair. Well, then guess what? It's not fair if you'd ask me for my money. Go away.
All right, everybody, welcome to TRUtalk, episode 4. I've got GrindheadJim. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be here, such as it is with these bright lights in my face immediately after finishing the shift at work. Zero downtime. It's awesome.
So, yeah, that's right. And we're excited to have this guy, this goon.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, just one letter off. So everybody, this is GoonOnGames,
Yes.
one of the new True affiliates to TRUgaming.
Yes.
So good to have you hanging out on a couch tonight, it seems.
Yes, this is my home. This is my home for the next week because I'm basically homeless in between apartments.
Wow.
Don't judge.
I have been there. I just moved myself, well, almost 3 months ago, to Texas. And before that, I slept on the couch for the last 2 nights while I was back in the truck and then got down. And I still sometimes surf the couch. Go figure. But I'm
It's a
curious.
comfy couch.
Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, couches are comfy most of the time. Well, that's the case. You know, since GamerDad kind of started it off by making fun of your name, I gotta ask, with GoonOnGames, is it you talking about games, or are there a bunch of games on the floor and you just get on them? That's do you Scrooge McDuck it with a bunch of like hard copies and stuff?
Just more the goon taking on the games.
Oh, like you challenge them to like the bar fight?
Yeah, sure. And whatever comes up, whatever I'll take.
I mean, everyone's looking for an angle on Twitch,
Yeah.
right? In content creation. And it never occurred to me to take my gaming collection, break a bottle, and go stitch that, Timmy.
Hey, you gotta switch it up, right? And that's what I'm
Exactly.
doing.
But-
Switch, so.
But if you're going after him, wouldn't it be take that Goonie or Goon?
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be taking him. He'd be fighting the game. Like, it'd be like, Zelda, I got this right here for you. Okay? There's only one way this is gonna end. That's with you.
Is that your Link voice?
Yeah, that was pretty.
Well,
right?
excuse me, princess. I mean, it could be. It could be.
Link had a good puberty there.
Or one too many shots of whiskey, like, excuse me. Then you could turn around and like make Ganon like a really nerdy skeleton, like, I'm Ganon. You could do that.
Wow.
We could sit here doing that all day long.
That sounded almost like a Wario version. I mean, kind of the same,
Almost.
maybe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Skeletor's the best of those three characters, and I won't hear anything of it.
So we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna let you guys get to know Goon a little bit. We're gonna ask him some questions, but first, Jim and Goon, sub badges are here.
Yes, they are.
Finally, we've been waiting all month. They're gonna come in July. They're gonna be there in July, and then like 4 o'clock this afternoon, I see all over Discord all my friends like, badges are here. Badges are
Yeah,
here.
literally just in time, right?
Yeah, right. They said by the
Right.
end of the month.
Well, I mean, is the thing is that like they're not wrong, right? They made it. If it came out tomorrow, I'd be like, bruh.
What'd you do?
Bruh. But I think that's awesome. I think it's a great feature for Twitch. I think it's a great feature for Twitch affiliates. Of course, I have been so daggum busy between work, family, and behind the scenes stuff. I just haven't got my badges done. I'm a bad boy. What about you guys?
Mine are
I'm
up.
in the same boat as you. I've
Yeah.
been so busy with the move and everything that I just haven't had time with that, and I'm about to start my pharmacy clinical rotations, so I didn't have the time to dedicate to getting the sub badges done and ready to go, and then not have the time dedicated to really put them to use.
So are
Every
we?
time someone says sub badges, I think about like a badge you put on a hoagie.
Hey,
Maybe it's because I'm hungry.
I mean,
sure.
you
I
did
can
go
do that.
straight from work to the cast, so it is highly
That,
possible.
that's 100% accurate.
If you
100%
start
accurate.
pulling a Will Ferrell and start yelling, "Bring me a meatloaf," I'm
Now,
done.
that
I'm
won't
dead.
happen. You know that. Why are you bringing up stuff like I'm thinking about dead cow. Thanks. I
Hey,
really appreciate that. Putting that in my head,
Oh man.
working me to the bone, and now you got to make me think about carcasses. This guy,
Fair
this
enough.
guy.
Fair enough.
See what I got to work with? This is insane. Um, all dead flesh aside, I think it's a great feature. I think it's something that's very good for everybody.
Hmm.
But I do feel like there are going to be some communities that'll really benefit from it, and some that it won't make any impact whatsoever.
Right.
Whether because people don't actually put the badges up, or those communities are built on more of a rotating kind of a community, just
Sure.
like on a
Sure.
rotation kind of a thing. So you know, I've seen it in both directions with partners as well, and it's just a nice perk.
Yep.
I don't think I would caution anyone out there that's thinking, oh, if I get sub badges that are really cool, like people will sub more. Maybe,
Don't go
but I
spending a
would
whole lot of
argue,
money to get them commissioned. That's for sure. Like,
right?
let's be careful with that.
And
So,
and that's my thing with it too, is that if you're not already seeing repeat subscribers, there's no reason to incentivize this. If it's something where you are commissioning it, if there's someone that you know or you are able to do for free or something, go down that road, put them in there, have fun with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a couple of
But
weeks,
it's not something you should be throwing money at.
sure.
Per se.
In a couple of weeks, I'll have
Definitely.
someone take advantage of the 1 year.
Well, there you go.
There
Congrats.
you go.
So,
There you go.
but we're gonna get a little bit. There's not much more to cover with badges. We're gonna hit on that a little bit more after we talk about Goon. A couple of other topics coming up. I wanted to talk a little bit about bounties. Once we get through it, not the paper towel, the Twitch bounties. And then I'm gonna ask you guys. I guess some questions for you guys that you may or may not be expecting about bounties.
Ooh.
A little bit about Twitch doing some creator kind of classwork sort of thing. The creator little setup that they've got so you can interview with the partners. We're going to talk about that. Plus, Jim and Goon have some game news for us. So I'm going to kind of let them jump into that. But first, Goon, we did
Yes.
kind of hint at learning about you. So
Yes.
we're going to throw it right at you. Give us an overview of who you are as a streamer and what got you started on Twitch.
So I'm a variety streamer in the fact that I only do games on the Nintendo Switch. I will do any genre of game within that console though. So that's my niche. Just only on the Nintendo Switch, but any genre, you name it, I'll play it. And that's kind of where my channel has grown and developed, which is pretty damn cool. So we started off with, the traditional Breath of the Wild, moved into more non-traditional Xenoblade Chronicles, then now we moved into Hollow Knight. So we played a lot of different games, RPG elements, kind of playing more so than others. We played a couple of indie games here and there. We're trying to get into some racing games in the future. So really anything that's indie, we're playing it. If it's on the Switch, we're playing it. That's really the bottom line.
I think I dropped into your stream. Were you playing Hollow Knight?
Yeah, we were just about to finish it.
Okay. I didn't realize that was on the Switch.
Yeah, they just got that over, and that was, from what I heard, a really big cash grab for Team Cherry, the developers.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're about to
It
drop
doesn't surprise me because you figure like
next
that
month.
game when it came out, it was a big deal, but it wasn't like a huge deal because when it came out, it was right when the PS4 had just come out and all that stuff. It was also huge on PC to a certain degree, and that game kind of languished because there was a huge glut of indie games that came out in that first 2 years of the PS4, and it got really hard. Like, what do I play?
Yeah, no, that game was drowning in all the other indie titles and even AAA titles that were released right around the same time. But
so when you put that on, arguably,
Switch release.
the console that has the largest variety, if you'll pardon the phrase, of a player base, and people are just hungry for stuff to play on the go, that fits the bill. I think it's a good move.
Definitely. That's definitely one of those games that you can just pick up and go, and it feels that Dark Soul-esque type of game that, I mean, we've been promised Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch since May, and we're still waiting for that on the Switch. So that's still a title that we've been waiting for. That's been postponed.
It's Dark Souls minus the soul-crushing self-hatred.
Yeah.
You get a
Exactly.
little frustrated, but yeah,
Oh no,
not a
exactly.
big deal. So, bar fighting notwithstanding,
Yes.
where did the username come from?
So that kind of came around back about 2, 3 years ago when my buddy and we got an Xbox for the first
Mhm.
time, and we're like, hey, what can we make for a gamer tag? And we decided that, hey, we're both goons in the fact that we're really goofy, we're really eccentric,
Sure.
and kind of aggressive when it comes to games. So
Right on.
why not have Goon on Games? We split the account, and then I decided to keep it, so I paid him for his half of the Xbox, and that was just it. I just kept the title.
So, how do we go from this is my name, on a live platform to becoming a live broadcaster? What prompted that switch, and what keeps you going? Like, what do you love
No
about
pun
the thing? Like,
intended.
what got you here?
I mean, honestly, it was just the fact that I was sitting on my couch just playing on the Switch so much, and I was saying, well, why not play it and have some other people watch? Because I know other friends that wanted to get a Switch, but just were saying, hey, I don't know if I like the games. I don't know if I like what I see. I don't know if this is something for me. So, hey, it's maybe a free way for people to check out a console that they might be hesitant to check in.
Okay, so you're basically doing free advertising for the manufacturer of the console. Got
Yeah,
it.
why not? Nintendo, please sponsor me.
Hashtag
Yeah.
sellout.
Yeah, hey, why not? I'll do it.
So, do you find that the variety of games is what keeps you going in terms of content, or is it something
yeah.
else that keeps you coming back to streaming?
I think in the beginning it started off with the fact that there were just so many games that I really wasn't going to get bored at any one point in time. And then as things started snowballing and growing, my community started to develop, and that was kind of a cool moment where I was saying, all right, well, now we can do something neat with this community. We can expand further and have more fun as a group. And that's kind of where it's becoming now and where it's taken off.
See, the Switch
Very
seems like
cool.
an interesting console. I'm gonna call it a console, like console-esque, right?
No, yeah.
It seems like a really good system though, because I have the PC, but when I'm away from my desk, if I want to play something, I've only got my phone. Like the PS4, it's not very mobile. Let's be honest. It's a giant honking
Nope.
brick. But
Yeah.
you know, one of my friends brought Switch over, and he just picked it up like a little touchscreen. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this is pretty awesome. And it seems Nintendo is always, I don't want to say always, Nintendo has usually been pretty reasonable when it comes to the costing of their systems and all that. I know they're going up in price because of the tech
Yeah.
and all that, but it seems like a fun platform where you could play it in several rooms where you would not normally hook up a console.
And that's exactly why I picked up the console in the first place. I mean, it started off with the fact that I was traveling a ton for my internship, so it was great when I can just take it on the train and just play it, just sit
Exactly.
down on the tray table, pop off the controllers, and just play. And I even did that traditional Nintendo Switch commercial where you just pass the controller to the guy next to you, and we were playing Mario Kart on the train. Like,
Oh,
that
that's
was
so
really
cool. That's really cool.
So, like, I've been doing that. Like, I'll take it on the plane ride, and I play with the guy next to me. Like, you can have so much more fun with it when you can just pop off a controller and just pass it over to this person next to you.
Yep. Yep.
And also, because
Alright.
you can play it on the toilet. Why not?
Yeah.
Someone had to mention that eventually with all the Switch talk. Let's face
Hey, I'll
it.
take
Yeah.
it.
Everyone talks about the Switch and pooping.
Yeah. I'm guilty.
Fair.
I mean, I don't read a lot of books, so it's the phone or the Switch, right?
I had a buddy growing up. This is pre-internet. This is before console gaming was really anything more than like 16-bit was as far as it went at this point.
Right.
And it had just come out. Okay, this is like how old this is and how old I am. He and his family used to call the bathroom the reading room, and there was literally a pile of books in the back.
Yeah.
And I used to always ask him, like, do you have any idea how many fecal molecules are floating around these pages, man? Like, don't even lend me a book. And I mean, never. Like, don't even try. Don't bring it to school. Don't bring it to my house. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see your book. I'll go to the library and get one of my own. I don't want your whole family's fecal matter in my hands when I'm trying to enjoy a good story. Okay? Okay. You know. So, and then translate that to your Switch and, enjoy that.
There you go.
Hey.
Lysol wipes, screen
Yep,
cleaner.
Of course.
Okay,
It's cool.
I'm gonna say it out there. If you go to the bathroom with your Switch enough, your Switch is full of shit. And just saying, It's just a fact. Sorry.
But that would
I don't
mean
make
that
the rules.
it could mean that Goon isn't though, right?
Oh, I don't think Goon is so far. I mean, he has yet to prove that. But the podcast is young.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into
podcast
some
is
of the special
We have
topics,
time.
so we'll see
Oh.
really how he fares, right? Because
All right.
Goon has not been on a cast before. Jim, you're kind
No,
of
I
a
haven't.
veteran here, but we're not gonna take it easy on him, right?
No.
Right.
My
No.
only casting experience is that I did used to shoutcast for Battleborn tournaments,
Mhm.
like that game
Oh, right
that
on.
everyone forgot before Overwatch took over.
Yes.
Yeah,
Might not have ever even heard of it.
basically how that game died.
No. I don't mean to talk a whole lot of trash, but yeah, shoutcasting is not an easy thing to do. And I
No.
respect anyone who does that for sure. But with that, I mean, when we talk about sub badges,
Mhm.
you had mentioned bounties before.
Yep. So have you guys heard? You guys have heard? Have you heard about the progress they've made with bounties so far?
I haven't heard about the progress.
Okay.
I was just reading the article very intently about 10 minutes ago.
So they so they opened bounties to partners initially, right? Kind of like a beta test, as they should, right? Partners are the ones that have really been helping to push this, and they're kind of the faces of it. So they tried.
They earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. So they set it up so partners could go and play games and stuff like that. For bounties, right? The bounty is they pay you for playing the game and meeting certain criteria.
Right.
They, play Call of Duty for an hour. It's based on your concurrent viewership, everything like that, and then you get $100 if you hit the average viewership. You get a portion of that if you go below it. Well, then they're like, "This is going great. Let's open the beta program up to affiliates and let them apply for it." So I gave it a shot. And because I wanted to check it out. I don't game. I'm a creative streamer, so it didn't really make full sense. But when I jumped into it, one of the things was talk for 5 minutes about the preview to this show, Venture Brothers, Season 7. So play the YouTube clip, change your stream title with this tag in it, change your stream content to IRL. Don't talk offensively negative about the content, right? If you don't like it, say you don't like it, but don't be abusive to it. And stream it for 5 minutes. And then we'll pay you up to like $34 based on the percentage of viewership. Now I'm not at partner level, so I didn't get the 75 viewers average to get the max payout, but I tried it. Half an hour later, I've got a notice on my Twitch that says you've completed a bounty. So it's really easy.
Nice.
And then, some of the things as a creative streamer, I tried to relax a little bit and play the Crew 2 was another bounty. The catch is they want people to play the games so that the games can get the attraction they need. Jim, you and I made fun of Crew 2 before, I believe.
Yes.
Um,
And we will continue to. At least I will.
It's a rough game because you don't really know anything about what you're doing. It's wide open. It's really tough. And so I tried it. You have to play it for an hour. You have to change to the Crew 2. I'm probably not going to play it again. But
how much did they pay you?
I'm not going to disclose the value, but it
Put
was
this way,
it was worth it.
$75 is the down payment as far as I'm concerned.
It was worth the time to try the game because I was honestly interested in it. So they give you here's the thing. I didn't buy the game. They give you the key to the game.
Oh,
Okay.
So that worked.
Is it a permanent key that you get to keep?
I believe so.
Yeah, but if you're not going to play it again,
No.
And Ubisoft, I'm not trying to talk trash about your game, but I got to be honest with you. That particular franchise,
Yeah. Totally wide open.
it was some Watchdog stuff, dude. Like,
Right.
But I get it. The point is to get games that maybe aren't getting the attention that they want, let alone deserve. It's a whole other thing. We're
Sure.
not here to judge much, but I'm kidding, guys. But the whole point is to promote games, to
Yep.
promote different properties and let's face it, these publishers are throwing their money around. And up until now, this was a totally third-party thing that was done through like middlemen and all this other trash. It only made sense that Twitch was going to roll out something like this, and it's not going to be long before YouTube and Mixer and all the other guys step up, I would hope, and have something similar. I think that Twitch in particular has been very good about taking ideas that the community has kind of built up and making it a bit more focused, making it into something that's actually usable.
Yep.
And this process sounds extremely user friendly, very unshady, and it's not like a lot of the third party tools that I've seen that enable like this kind of sponsorship. It's like, use Zitrol's, apple cream pudding, and you're like, how am I going to do this on like what? This doesn't even make sense. This is stream this game for this long, hopefully hit these viewers, we'll pay you. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty cut
They're
and
not
dry.
asking you to like endorse a product. They're not asking you to endorse some weird software for LFG that you'll never freaking use. Be like, oh, it's great.
No, my one concern. So I've had all positive experiences with bounties.
Okay.
My one concern is, I'm a very honest streamer and I'm a very honest person. There's a bounty for Wildlands, the Tom Clancy game.
Mm-hmm.
I've played the game once on the free-to-play weekend.
Uh-huh.
I'm never
Okay.
going to play it again. I did not enjoy the type of game. So I'm not going to take the bounty. Because I don't think I could respect the game. I don't think my viewers would see me enjoying the game, and I'm not just gonna play an hour, make $50, right? I'm not gonna do that. I don't.
But isn't that the
I will
benefit of
take
having the
$50
bounty
to play a
program where you
game.
can
I
pick and
won't like
choose which
$50
ones
for
you
an
want?
hour.
Yes, that is Goon. You're right, and Jim. I mean, and I'm not saying you're a dishonest streamer. I just,
I'm being very honest. Pay me to play a crap game. I will do it. For that amount of money, for an hour, 1 hour of my time,
sure.
worth.
I will.
Now, and for me, for what I do, it would be great content for my community because they love seeing me frustrated.
Sure.
They love seeing me. So for me, that would work. For super chill streamers that foster other kinds of emotional ideals in their community, it may not be a good idea.
Right.
So you can't do that.
What I've decided to do, the bounties that are gameplay, it takes a few days for them to send you the key. They send it to you through email, so it takes a few days once you activate the bounty. But I'll run my stream. I start at 9 o'clock at night normally. I'll run on a bounty night. You're supposed to let everybody know you're doing this for a bounty. You can't keep it a secret. Like, guys, this is a Twitch bounty. We're gonna do the bounty, and then you get into it. So some of my nights, I'll just end stream early. Like, I'll cut an hour early, switch over to the game, and let everybody watch me playing the game. So people will filter out, right? I know I'm gonna lose some viewership, but I'm doing the bounties at the end of the night to wind down and relax. Like last night was my end of the month stream party. Very busy, very hectic, very stressful. So jumping onto a new game where I went to the cities and just did all the radars. You've got like speed runs where you just go straight down the road as fast as you can to see if you can top out somewhere and get caught on a speed cam over a certain speed. So it was fun to like go around and see the real cities and the fancy cars and all that. But it wasn't. It was very frustrating when you got into the other vehicles. So they got to see me crash all over the place. I can't fly the damn airplane. Like, it just down every single time. I have no idea how to fly it. But it was still fun to at least give it an hour. My community had some good laughs, and I got to relax a little bit. With Wildlands, knowing that I didn't enjoy the game on the free weekend, it's not going to give my stream the atmosphere that I'm using the bounties for. Now, in your case, though, Jim, it's spot on. You like to get into the games and everything like that. So let's play a trash game and have my community enjoy watching me get upset at a trash game. That actually sounds very fun to me to go watch.
Right.
But when we were watching Nickelodeon, because I'm a lot younger than Jim, right?
Shut up.
When you watch all like Double Dare, do you guys remember Double Dare? I loved watching people get slimed.
Yeah,
but I did not want to do it.
Hearing about years later when I was looking for that game show online to try and download them, finding out that the host had killed himself. That was great.
Oh, but that's this took a twist.
Oh, wait, that was Ray Combs. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But
Never mind.
I loved watching.
Sorry, he's dead too, though.
Yeah, God.
Well, he's dead.
So we're not going to talk about.
He's dead, and I'm happy. He's dead. I'm sad. I just said I was sad.
So
Is that enough remorse as I have a smile on my face?
would you like someone to come in and slime you? Just
Yes.
you would?
For money, yes.
Okay. See, it would make me
For
so.
money only.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
It has to
I
be a
respect
lot.
that.
Because try getting slime out of this damn thing.
I heard it was actually applesauce, food colored applesauce. At least at Nickelodeon Studios, right? When you went to, was that near Disney?
Universal Studios in Florida.
Yeah. So you could go
I used to
there.
watch a lot of Nickelodeon, dude.
Yeah. They would do it, and I think it was applesauce with food coloring. Anyway, the point is, I enjoyed watching everybody else have it happen to them. I don't want it to happen to me, and that's kind of like I want to watch Jim get into a game and hate it, and get frustrated because he doesn't mind having that atmosphere. I don't.
Not usually, no.
Right. I mean, I go to bed after I stream. Like I shut down stream, go downstairs, and just go to sleep. I don't want to work myself up with a frustrating game.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fair.
So, but that being said, I think this bounty system is fantastic. I mean, Jim, you hit it. It gives production companies a chance to throw money everywhere to get their game out there. So,
And please throw money at me. I don't mind being treated like a clothed stripper. I'm fine with that. You know.
that's the best. The stripper. That's the best kind of to the stripper. That's the best job that they have. I didn't have to take any clothes off, and I got all this money. Fantastic. To the other people, it may not be great.
I think it depends upon your view. See, you've opened a can of worms. I used to work in a strip club. I was a DJ. Most of them were just fine taking the clothes off. It's when there's other stuff being asked and their clothes are on that they get a little bit wary. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Fair enough.
But your analogy stands. It's okay. It's all right. Just saying. It's weird.
So Goon,
Yes.
The Goon, strippers aside.
why don't you give us some of your input on the Twitch creator camp? I know you had mentioned it a little bit.
I mean, I think it's great. It kind of touches into what Tru has been doing with their whole TRUtalk and everything that they've been doing. I like this, how the stream key, we're seeing this more from Twitch's platform. They're kind of doing a similar thing where they're showing from the Twitch partners aspect and their point of view how to go about Twitch, how to make the most out of it, how to get the most out of your experience on Twitch, either as an affiliate, as a normal streamer, or as a partner. So it kind of runs down how to get paid, how to do emotes, how to network, and kind of basic tutorials that a lot of people, if they don't know where to go, now they can find this on Twitch's page.
Now, how much have you dug? Have you gone through some of the input, or just read through the articles? Have you watched?
So I went through a little bit, and it's nice they have partnered streamers that'll actually speak, and they can interact with the audience live on chat, on their creative page, or their creator page, and I think it's kind of nice. You get to see their perspective and their honest input on what it's like to go behind the scenes and get from point A of non-affiliation to point B of affiliation, point C of partner, and beyond.
Okay.
And a lot of like the details in between, which is kind of some of the things that a lot of streamers really have to learn themselves or learn from another group.
So then the question becomes, would these kind of guides help? You know the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Is it gonna be? Does the veteran streamer get any benefit out of this?
I would say no, but I would also say it wouldn't hurt to look. Because no matter where you are and your comfort level of streaming, I feel like you're always going to be learning. It should be the same thing with life. You should always be learning something new. And there might be something that you had either overlooked when you'd previously started, or even right now you just don't know about it. And it might just be nice just to browse through it. It took me maybe 5 minutes just to go through all of the quick looks at panels. So it doesn't take you long just to get a quick overview and skim through it. If there's a topic that you want to know more about, that you're interested in, you can just click on it and there's a video to watch.
Huh.
I would say, too, that when we talk about this type of a thing, even if you are a veteran streamer, and you've been doing it a while, going through some of these tips, there's a couple of reasons that you would want to do it. One, there are things that you may have, been told early on that you forgot or didn't ever implement, and you're like, oh, I never did do that, and you try this. Or standards and practices, or like best practices, they change over time. How growth can be done, how this market works, is going to change over time. There's a reason that there's a consistent, there's always someone looking for, I need help streaming. And although there are certainly some core values and ideas on how to do it, it does evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So when, someone like Goon or myself goes over there and checks this stuff out, you're very likely to come across something that maybe you don't know. The person that decides that they're done learning and they know what they're doing is going to stop growing, bottom line.
Fair enough.
So it's really good to go in there and really give it a whirl, so to speak.
And it might even correct some bad habits.
That would be the hope. I mean, that's why it's there. It's not just there to be like, hey, you want to stream? Let's do it. It's not there for that. It's there for the folks that want to grow and want to take it seriously, and for Twitch to show, here's how. If you want to take this seriously, here's how you do it. And
Exactly.
sometimes, I've been in all kinds of different jobs. I do tech support now, and I've done sales. I've done all kinds of stuff. And in every job I've ever had, including the Marines, somebody at some point wiser than me has said, we need to get back to basics. This is no different. This is the same thing. And refreshing your memory on what those basics are considered to be at this point in time is a great idea. And this is a great program to do it.
They even touch on sponsorships and how to handle getting them and how to handle you're on them.
Wow.
Bounties notwithstanding.
Yeah. So it is a complete platform.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. And spoilers, for those of you watching either live or at home on YouTube's or whatever's, yes, I was filling out the bounty survey during that interview.
It's
Because I want them shits.
I will
I filled it out too.
I will try and go ahead and put the FAQ article into the
It's really good.
description.
It's a nice read, and there is a link in there where you have to fill out a survey, and it says it's for partners, but I was like, well, they didn't say I couldn't fill it out.
Well, it says partners earlier, but later in the paragraph it says for
Oh.
affiliates as well.
Yeah, affiliates get some consideration.
Okay, I got you.
I mean,
got you.
I'm a creative streamer, and they sent me a gaming bounties. So if
There
I
you go.
if I can get in, you should get in.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's free for everyone to try.
Yep.
It's its own thing. Now, what is this that I'm hearing about EA getting into free-to-play? Like, the greediest company in our industry is like, here, have a game for free. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
I think it's just going to be along all of the same games that we've been seeing coming out recently with Fortnite. It's just like all these little strings attached.
Yeah.
Sure.
So battle
Sure.
passes, all these other
mean-
things that people can like. Yes, it's free to play, but is
But
it
you can
free to
buy other
really
stuff.
enjoy?
I mean, when you look at the fact that Fortnite mobile alone generates 2 million a day, and that's just on iOS. That's one platform per day. They generated some insane amount of like billions of dollars last year, and you're just like, I've played that game. It's fun. It's not billions of dollars worth of fun, but apparently people are spending the money. You know?
I find some of the free to play games comical
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah,
until you sink into the pay to win concept.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
and
I'm afraid that these games. Are
I
gonna do.
think that, like, using, again, Fortnite is the example. They don't do that. You don't really have that. It's strictly cosmetic. That's smart.
Right. I mean, now you could
Smart.
do different things with Fortnite that if you invest in, you can get there. Like you said, very cosmetic, right? I want this specific pickaxe. I saw somebody buy a glider called Bear Force 1. Not Air,
Yes.
Bear. And
Yeah,
it's
I
a
saw that.
big
Yeah,
honking
yeah.
teddy bear that pops out.
Which
So-
is amazing. And it's something that, some people will grind for it, but let's face it, the demographic of that particular game, and many of these free-to-play games, is going to be people in their, right before their preteens or in their early teen years, let's be
Right.
honest. And they don't have the patience most of the time.
Right.
Unless you get them hooked into like more of an MMO kind of game where they're used to grinding, Destiny. They might not be willing to wait, and they're like, "Mom, can I pay for this thing? What is it? Bear Force 1? What the hell is Bear Force 1? It's a glider. Well, is it any better than the glider you got?
It's so fluffy. No.
they're like, does it do any better in the game? No, that wouldn't be fair. Well, then guess what? It's not fair if you'd ask me for my money. Go away. But, like, that's the kind of thing. And EA, I feel like I don't mean to be a negative Nelly, okay? I mean, they're also talking a bit about like cross-play initiatives and things like that. Publishers can talk about cross-play all they want. At the end of the day, it's the hardware publishers that are going to be the ones that we want to talk about. So you can spout all the rhetoric you want to try to foster goodwill with the community after you completely pooped all over it, a la Battlefield 2.
Oh man,
dude, that was not fun.
No,
I mean, I loved that game. I don't have any issues with it, really, not really. But I did take issue with the way they handled the microtransactions. But they're like, don't buy the game. I'm like, I've already pre-ordered it, and I'm not canceling it. I want to play the game. You can eat a thing.
A microphone.
Sure. Yes, it's shaped like one. Yes. But that was a huge PR dump that they took, and for them to be talking about like crossplay now, it's like that's great that you want to do that, but
now
where were you in this conversation 10 years ago?
Does
when
the
360 was on top?
But does the crossplay platform reach into their sports division?
Probably.
I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Madden, right? Maybe,
sure.
Right? Like, because that's their sports bread and butter, isn't it? Or is
it?
Well, I'd say Madden and FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah.
Okay.
FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get FIFA cross playing, like,
forget about it.
Like, you're gonna see electricity bills in Europe and South America go through the dang old roof.
I think that's their end goal.
Yeah. Goal.
But
like, we'll see if it actually happens.
I mean,
as you said, it's going to come down to the hardware,
right? And if
because Sony plays hardball with this stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, and Microsoft doesn't.
Microsoft did too. They did that 10 years ago. But now that they're not holding market share, they're like, please, sir, I'd like some cross-play. And so he's like, no. Or whatever the translation in Japanese would be. No. I don't know. But the thing is, like, my point with this is, like, publishers in general, I have learned to not trust them in general.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say whatever you want. Oh, we're going to do free-to-play games. I'll believe it when I see it. Put out a quality game, we'll see.
I can just...
Fortnite was not meant to be what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened, right? And the only reason that particular game, I think, excelled is because people were looking for a free alternative to PUBG. And I know they don't like us calling it PUBG, but that's why I like calling it PUBG, because they're really uptight. All those guys over there. Okay? Lighten up. PUBG.
Yeah.
PUBG. Say it with me. PUBG.
It's the most perfect game. I can't finish
the most bug-riddled... Anyway, so that's the thing, is I think there's an irony there. You want to pay $20 for something that constantly crashes machines that are extremely overpowered, that has bugs in it, persists,
Bug-G?
a toxic gaming community, and a publisher that doesn't really respect its fan base. Or do you want a free game that's kind of whimsical, does a lot of the same things, and doesn't cost a dime?
And has a storyline now.
It does. It sure does.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and free. It's just one of these things that, like, if EA wants to throw their hat in that ring, great. But I'll believe it when I see it. When it comes to crossplay, talk is cheap. It's free to talk.
Sure.
I think we're going to see a free-to-play game come out. I just don't think it's going to be to the caliber that we've seen from EA.
Right, because are they really going to... Because I think that this will be like a test the waters kind of thing. And I think that because they're being fiscally conservative, that it's not going to be up to par, and as a result, people are going to pay money into it. Where they're going, oh, that was wasted money. I'm like, no, put some stuff in it.
You watch, we're going to get like Madden or FIFA, and it's going to be a Hearthstone format type game, because they used to have the player pack where you can open cards and get So we're gonna get that as their free to play game, and it'll be cross compatible because you can play it on mobile and on PC, just like Hearthstone. But you have to buy all these packs and spend all this money if you really want to get anywhere. Calling it now.
You almost put me to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I hope
but
not.
with Battlefield 2, you know, the argument could be made that they're learning from that mistake, or it
Sure.
could not be made, to be honest with you. Battlefield 5 is an example of a post-Battlefield 2 EA, where they're shying away from the traditional DLC models. They're shying away from pay-to-win and microtransactions being such as they are. There was an article I saw that came out last week that talks about how they're trying to really not just do the complete opposite of what they've done with Battlefield 2, but kind of see what did work, what didn't work, and work with the communities and you know, come up with something else. And when we're talking about like a franchise like Battlefield, I think engaging the community is really important at this point when you have so many of these damn games that come out, and they all just kind of seem samey. I haven't played one since Battlefield 4. I haven't touched it. Haven't needed to. I'm just like me. And Call of Duty, me. I don't care because it's samey. Now, granted, this is from the guy who's got literally thousands of hours in Destiny 2. Okay, so take that with a grain of salt.
Sure.
Okay, so I hope that this game comes out and it actually delivers on the promise of being a more community-driven game. But we'll see. I mean, knowing what you guys know about the Battlefield 2 debacle and what Battlefield 5 is purporting to live up to, are there any lessons you think they really need to learn from? Like, what do you think is like essential going into a new Battlefield game from a DLC or microtransaction standpoint that they need to learn? What do you think?
So I've never really gone fully in depth into any of the Battlefield franchise. I played a little bit, and you hit it on the head earlier. Again, samey, right? I played one of them where you were on an island, and you just run around that island, and you do the same thing.
Yep.
Kind of like Fortnite, except the game never felt like it evolved. I mean, you could put the game down, 6 months later you come back, guess what? Same island. Maybe a couple of tweaks to weapons, a little bit to balance, but it just doesn't feel... I can't play Call of Duty. I can't play Battlefield. One, I don't really like first-person shooter games. You've heard me say that before, Jim, but it just... No evolution. At least Destiny changes it every week.
True story.
I mean, I think Battlefield needs to go back to the old Battlefield 2, 2142, Battlefield even 3 days, where you knew you were getting, there wasn't anything that was going to be like a mystery box type of thing when getting the game. And I think that's what we're expecting with the Battlefield franchise moving forward, where yes, you've promised us that you're moving away from what you learned from Battlefront 2, but I don't know. I can't trust that.
Yeah, the loot box thing in general is really a turnoff, and then there are games that balance it, like the aforementioned Destiny, where there's some stuff you can work towards, some stuff is RNG within that, and then there's other stuff that's fully random. But once you get to a certain point, that becomes a moot thing anyway. But in a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, where there's a very specific core progression involved, it's linear. You go in one direction. I think it's important to know what you're shooting for, what you unlock at each rank. You know, that which kind of brings that one more game ideology into it. And I think that they've done it well in the past, like you said, with Battlefield 3, and they just need to go back to basics, like they,
yeah, they do
tie it all in. I mean, going from games that like there's not enough to do to games that have way too much to do. No Man's Sky.
Oof.
Man. Okay. I don't like this game. I've never played it, and I don't like it. But they have done something that I would argue to say no other developer has succeeded in doing ever, where they screwed up a launch so bad. It's probably the worst game launch I have ever seen, and I don't say that lightly. I've been gaming since Atari was brand new. E.T. went over better than No Man's Sky, okay? That's a fact.
Oh,
It's an absolute fact. Okay, I'm not even joking right now. Look at my face. Serious.
I can't even look at you seriously right now.
It's fine. It's the beard. I get it all the time. But No Man's Sky, like they promised all this stuff. They were pushed on a deadline, and rather than like put their foot down and say, "Look, publisher, it's not ready. We're gonna have to push it back again," they just put out a broken piece of crap that didn't deliver on any of the big promises, and they ate a lot of stuff for it. They like a lot of people shoveled it down their throats, and rightfully so. I mean, there was like these long Reddit threads about like, well, here's all the stuff they said it would be in it, but here's none of that stuff, and it was really brutal for a long time. And I was like, see, I didn't like being that guy, but it was fun for a few minutes. Now they've got a totally free update that completely overhauls nearly every aspect of the game, and by all accounts makes it more engaging and much more closer, if not pretty much on the nose, to what was originally promised with the game almost 2 years later. And the people that kind of have the game are giving it a try, and they're saying it's good.
I've seen a lot of people streaming it, and I've seen a lot of people enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think it's good that
Couple
they
that
finally
with,
lived up to
I saw,
what their launch
I
promise
think it was Walmart or somewhere in the States here had it on sale for like $10 or something today. And it's a free update. So you're getting basically like this gigantic game for whatever they're charging for it.
Yep.
Which is a smart move. They've turned this thing completely around. Now the question is, is the damage done? Is it too little, too late? Does the game have legs? I think time will tell. What do you guys think?
Go for it, Goon.
I mean, I never really bought into the No Man's Sky hype just because I didn't really want to get a PS4. I kind of was look like I knew where I was going for like on the console journey, so I just kind of watched from afar as everything was happening, and I got hyped up about it, but I never really was like, all right, I'm not committing to this. It was really heartbreaking to see what happened with their launch. It really was.
Yeah.
It was really heartbreaking to see a developer that had promised so much and was so. This game was supposed to be massive. This was supposed to be a huge deal, and it was just kind of like someone's half-completed homework assignment.
Does anybody remember Age of Conan from 10 years ago? Hey, we're going to drop a DX10 game. Hey, we're going to do all these cool things. Hey, it's going to be the best game ever. Here's DX9. Here's a gold disc. Development's going on vacation for 2 months.
Enjoy this.
Not even kidding. Leaving customer support to run database codes to fast track you through quests because they were so broken that when you have to go kill said guy, he never spawns, or you kill him and then he drops a box and nothing's in the box. And just buggy.
What's in the box? Nothing.
Brad Pitt wishes nothing was in the box.
Right.
As much as like I was just saying, like they completed this half homework assignment. It was really heartbreaking to see that, but it was also really nice to see that they pushed out this massive content update that was free.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the DLC to what they should have had on launch.
Yep.
Which is maybe a little sour taste in your mouth, but it's nice to see that what we have is now the completed product. So I give them props. I give them the tip of my hat for completing what they had set out to do.
They kind of saved themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
My question becomes, what does Hello Games do with their next title, except say, it'll be done when we tell you it's freaking done.
Exactly.
And stand by that, because I hope that this DLC is successful enough that they'll be able to have the clout to be like, yo, when we tell you it'll be done when it's done, listen next time.
And I think
you'll get your money.
I think they have the traction to be able to say that now.
I hope so.
To Sony?
When you fast forward, this is what happens.
I don't know
when
yet.
you try to fast track.
I mean, one of the comments in chat was because a small studio can 100% tell Sony to hold on. I kind of agree with that. I've been playing PlayStation since PlayStation 1, like the original PlayStation. Right. I mean, I've come up on the PlayStation side. I was never a Microsoft gaming fan. So I've been around Sony. I've watched what they've done. I've watched them grow. and it just, they're a bully. They are.
Every big hardware publisher is a bully. I hate to be the one to tell you.
Oh, I mean, I'm not just saying it from a discouraging standpoint. I mean, they've earned the position to do so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but I do also think that this illusion that market share suddenly means you know what you're doing. It's like, no, asshole, you got lucky. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't like all I know right now is that Sony today feels a lot like Sony did at the end of the PS2's life cycle, where they think they can't do anything wrong, and that makes me really mad.
Yep.
You know, if Sony comes out at the end of this year, the PlayStation experience, and says, "Hey, cross save and cross play are going to be a thing for the majority of games moving forward. We hear you. We're taking care of business." The odds of that happening, monkeys might as well fly out of my butt right now. I mean, it's just, I don't think so, because they're at this point such an arrogant company. And I thought for sure when they lost market share during the PS3, the development cycle of PS4 was honest that they were being humble about it. They were trying to do something right. And then as soon as they got market share, they're like, and then now Microsoft's here going, they're being humble and nice. And it'll just the same thing over and over again. I think the sooner that these companies realize that the competition should not be about who's got the better whatever. Just make the best damn game and let the community decide what's best.
Yeah.
Stop trying to outdo each other for the sake of saying, I outdid you, and just make a better damn game. And, maybe Spider-Man is going to be the start of that. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it.
Speaking of stories.
Hey.
So, for those of you who have watched the first podcast, for the revival episode, or for those that follow Grindhead Jim, we know he's kind of a little fan of Destiny. And so I have heard from Jim that they're doing a little bit of some special things with their lore. So, real quick, on the spot, fill us in on what's going on.
Short version, two things. First, the lore that tends to be the most loved in Destiny is not the cutscenes, much as you would think it is. It's these little snippets of the story that were originally called the Grimoire in Destiny 1. And there's been a little bit of that in Destiny 2, but when we get the Forsaken launching here in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a lot more of that. In fact, they're pushing so much of the story into that category that the entire next year of Destiny will be told through these snippets of lore throughout the game and progression and hidden collectibles and stuff like that, which is awesome. On the heels of this, in this revelation, they're like, oh, by the way, we got this all this lore that we're been sitting on from Destiny 1, which they also unceremoniously removed from their own website a year ago, much to the chagrin of lore fanatics. But, ladies and gentlemen, they are taking all that lore, stringing it together into a narrative format, into books, and the first one's coming out very soon, guys. Really cool stuff.
That's pretty neat.
Something they've never done. And here's the part that makes me go, one of the biggest lore scholars in the community is a guy named Mylan Games. I met Mylan because of my buddy Beard Grizzly, who's another lore scholar in Destiny. We were at Guardian Con. He come up. We had a few drinks. We had a lot of drinks. And we talked about lore and all that sort of stuff. Great guy. He's from Australia. He's Aussie. And he's awesome. Turns out that Bungie liked what he had to say at their most recent community summit so much, they offered him a temporary job helping them piece this book together. So they reached out into their community, their content creation community, and said, can you help us? He said, sure. And he stayed silent for like 3 months, helped them string all the stories together and make the narrative work. Then came out and said, hey, I helped. It was really cool. So it shows that they're really taking storytelling seriously. They realize that Destiny has a legacy and a history in terms of their storytelling, and they're willing to let us help with it because they kind of suck at it.
I mean, that's kind of humbling, though.
True story.
So
absolutely.
Are you actually going to get the books? Are you going to get like limited edition releases? Or are you going to get...
As far as I know, they only have like the one edition. It's hardcover, is $25, and you get like an emblem in game with it. So because it comes with an emblem, I'm buying it. You could put You could sell a banana with a tricorn on it written in marker, and if an emblem comes with it, I'm buying it for the most part. Like I want all the
All
emblems.
right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I do want the books. I really do.
Okay.
Not
Not for the bathroom, though.
Definitely not for the goddamn bathroom. I don't want poop in my. The bookshelf's right in front
Full
of my
circle.
desk here. You can't see it. I don't want to I don't want to be sitting here like, ugh, that smell bad. But you know, if it's in the bathroom, I mean, books don't belong there. The Switch is arguable. So, like, Goon, what? There is a game that's coming up, I believe, that you may find you on the pooper playing it. What is
Well,
that?
no, it's not even coming up. It's already released.
Is it?
Paladins. Yeah.
Wow.
So Hi-Res Studios made a massive deal, and they created waves here because I think it's going to snowball into something really neat. So Hi-Res released Paladins for the Switch believe it was just last week. And
Okay.
I mean, I've been playing this thing nonstop, and I think it's going to be a telltale sign that Overwatch will be coming, that you're going to see other games that are AAA titles that are now coming in, because if they can be, like, they're not going to sit around and be shown up by some knockoff game. And that's what I mean, I personally find Paladins is a knockoff Overwatch. The same thing with every other game that's kind of doing the same thing. So I see, like, these developers saying, I'm not going to be shown up by this team that's maybe botching what we created, our legacy. Let's put our game on the Switch and let's make more money than them. You see
Right.
Tencent Games coming out with Arena of Valor. So you're seeing MOBAs now coming out to the Switch. You're going to be seeing a lot more of these AAA big name games coming out. You see Crash Bandicoot, Dark Souls. So all these games are slowly making the migration to the Switch. Yes, it's not going to compete with the same caliber that the hardware is going to provide you with PlayStation and Xbox, but it gives you that variety to play on the go, which is something that those consoles can't do. And that's Nintendo's niche, is to be able to play on the go.
The other side of that, though, too, with the Switch is a lot of people like to talk about the portability, and the convenience. The fact is that let's shelve that for a second and think about the fact that for those that are already enthusiasts of the Switch, they don't want to play on other things. It's just how they're used to playing at this point.
Yeah.
So the publishers and developers that can get their game onto that platform, they're going to get a pretty rabid and very highly engaged player base right out of the gate. Because, like we were saying before, the more software you make available on this thing, like yourself, I mean, you've built your community on having lots of new games to play over and over and over. I feel like that's just kind of a microcosm of what the community of Switch owners is doing. And I think
it doesn't even hurt that Nintendo calls their own indie games Nindies. That they own that title. They promote that on their own channel, their news channel. So they want the player base to be as excited about these indie games as they are to provide them for the platform.
That's awesome. And it does kind of play against type of what we know about Nintendo and how they're not whole big fans of content creators, but indie games, they're fine. Or Nindy games, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see them really supporting that, because previously, like previous hardware iterations they've had, not so much. They just really haven't embraced that. They kind of like swung in the opposite direction. And to be fair, a lot of publishers didn't want anything to do with them with the Wii U, and that's not their fault.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree.
Oh man.
I think a big example of how Nintendo is opening up is releasing Wolfenstein 2 for the Switch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that just came back about a month ago, and that was huge. I played that.
Yeah,
on
because
stream, and that was
they've always been really like
clean.
wary of like the
Yes,
of the,
it was very
of the mature
clean with
stuff.
motion controls. Like, this game was very polished, and it reminds you of how Doom was for the Switch, and that was amazingly crisp.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you know, when we're talking about Nintendo trying to come back with its share, I think this is the first step. And the question is, will they be able to really knock it out of the park the next time? If they keep this up, maybe. We'll find out.
Yep.
We'll see.
I would love for Nintendo to come back with hardware that's designed with everybody in mind, but has very specific hardcore player options and
Mhm.
doesn't skimp on the hardware. Because
Yes.
the processing power in those things, I mean, I can't with that crap. I just can't. Um, it's not a bad piece of tech by any stretch of the imagination.
Mhm.
But if I switch from Destiny 2 on PC to the PS4, I'm feeling it pretty hard, and I hate to say that out loud because I main on PS4. To go another step down from that for any other game, I'm like, and this is, I'm talking personally. And I think
yeah.
there's a lot of guys out there like me that are really big tech heads that they want Nintendo to be on par, and they haven't been for a long time, and I think they need to understand that. That's just my 2 cents.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. It's hard to make that compromise with portability.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
Not arguing that.
I mean, your laptop's hard to get up to a desktop quality in some cases. I mean, you can kind of get there, but it's not easy.
You know,
You have to make
if you
sacrifices.
like your legs warm, I mean, you can make that happen pretty easily
Yep.
with the right laptop. You know. But whatever. I mean, that's not for us to discuss. I mean,
Sure.
if you want to burn your legs up, that's fine. Whatever.
And I think with that,
Yeah.
that's going to take us out of here, guys. Just remember,
So,
if you have any podcast topics you'd like to discuss with us, or send an email in to TRUtalk@TRUgaming.com. That's TRUtalk@TRUgaming.com, or go on our website TRUgaming.com and check out all of our social media links. Send that information in. So Jim and I would love to bring those topics up on a future cast.
absolutely. And while you're at it, remember to subscribe to our channel for episodes via YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, Spreaker with an R, 2 of them, or SoundCloud, and I believe Spotify as
Now
well.
Spotify, yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, Spotify. Where's the podcast at? On Spotify and a bunch of other places.
Oh man, did you just go Herbert on our podcast?
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll be back in a week with more True Talk. I believe we're going to have another new affiliate, Impending Duff, another creative streamer coming in. So check us out on Discord. That's discord.gg/TrueGaming. Tell your friends about us, and we'll see you next week. Say goodbye, Goon.
Adios.
Say goodbye, Jim.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.